torque experienced by a dipole placed in an uniform external electric field. External electric field. So you see what happened is that, let's say we have a dipole and we have a uniform electric field. The uniform electric field in a region is shown by parallel horizontal lines like this. This is an external electric field. That is, this electric field is coming due to some other source which is at a very far away distance. And we place a dipole here. Now what is a dipole? A dipole is a two charges equal and opposite separated by a small distance. So I place a dipole here. Let's say this is our dipole, which is making an angle theta with the direction. So it is subtending an angle. I'll make it a little big. Let's say it is making an angle theta. This is the dipole. At one end we have a plus q charge, and another end, this would be the minus q. One end we have a minus q charge, and other end we have a plus q charge. Now what is happening is, plus q means the plus q charge is going to get repelled by the source which is somewhere here. Some other positive electric charge is their side. So it is repelling it. So as it is repelling it, it is moving away from the charge. So the plus q charge, the force experienced by this plus q charge will be along the direction of electric field. So that means it will be along the direction this side. So it is going to experience a force along this. Let us call this force plus QE. From where I am getting this? I am getting this expression, electric field is equals to force per unit charge. From this relation I am getting it. Similarly, the minus Q charge is also experienced like force, but it is getting attracted. So it is going this way. So this is minus QE. Correct? And the electric field subtend an angle theta. The dipole subtend an angle theta. As you know, the direction of dipole moment is always from negative to the positive charge. That means this is the P vector. P vector is always from negative charge to the positive charge. And how much is this distance? Let's say this distance is, it can be r, it can be 2. A general tradition is to denote this by a distance of 2r. So this distance is, let me name it. So from here to here, this distance is 2a. This is 2a distance. The distance between the dipole length is 2a. Now, as soon as we place this, so this is a force, plus q is a force. So as soon as we place the dipole in the external electric field, this charges experience a force given as QE, and this also will be given as F is equal to minus QE. Now, as you can see, these two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So generally they forms a couple. Now before I proceed, let me explain you a little bit about regarding torque. What is torque? Torque is, now look at this situation here. If I take what is torque? Let us understand this. Let us say this is a rod which is placed at one of the pivot point like this. So if you give a force this way, let's say you apply a force, what will happen? You are applying a force at a distance r, from the point of rotation. So this body is going to rotate. That means it is under a effect of a circular force called torque. Analogous. This torque is analogous to force in translational motion. So any body which wants to rotate must be come under the effect of the torque. You can see F, and this is the distance r. Torque is given as force into perpendicular distance. Always you have to consider, for the torque you always have to consider the perpendicular force, not the any other force. You may have applied the force like this, then we cannot take this force. We have to take the component of force which is perpendicular to r. Force into perpendicular distance. Just a revision from class 11. So that means the torque is force into perpendicular distance. From where? Perpendicular distance of the force from the point of rotation. So this is the point of rotation. Just a revision for you. Okay. So then we can easily find the torque. Now other way, there is also another property called, summation of, so what will be net torque? How do you find torque? Let's say in the same situation I give you like this. So this is one force which is acting here. Now let's say there is another force which is also acting like this, but it is acting this way. At this end it is acting. Then what is the total torque? How will you find the total torque acting at O? It is very simple. To find the total torque acting at O, you add them. So I am going to get tau would be equal to tau 1 plus tau 2, like this, so on. And tau is, let's say this is R1, this is R2, this is F1, this is F2. Then my torque could be F1 into R1 plus F2 into R2. Remember, tau is cross product. It is R vector cross F vector. Tau is, so rotational force is cross product of R vector and F vector. Correct? Tau is the cross product of, and how will you get the direction? Remember, the direction, this is R vector. Always you have to use the right hand rule to find the direction of the tau. Right hand rule. So what is that? Let's say this is the F vector, this is the R vector. You imagine, you place your right hand aligned with R vector and then fold it towards F vector. Then the thumb will give you the direction of the torque. Correct? You take your right hand, R, fold it towards it, then thumb will give me the direction of the torque. As simple as that. Now this is the three things. So what three things we are learning, taking away from this, just a revision from here. So we are considering that what is torque? Torque is analogous to circular force, which is given as force into perpendicular distance of the force from the point of rotation. So this is R and F. It is always cross product of R and F. When multiple forces are acting at perpendicular distance from an origin, how will you find the total torque? Just add all of them. Tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau 3 and so on. You keep doing like that. So this is it. If the net torque is 0, we will call that the body is at equilibrium. Means summation of all these tau would be equals to 0, means the body is at equilibrium. So with this point in mind, let us try to use this concept here. Okay. So what are we doing? I will copy all this. Let me keep it as a side note. So now we need to apply the same concept here. So you see, so what do we have? Consider a consider an electric dipole of dipole moment P equal to Q2A is placed in external electric field. Is placed in an external electric field. Dipole experiences a torque. Dipole experiences coupled forces. These two forces are called coupled forces. Experiences coupled forces F1 and F2. They are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. And also has different line of action. You can see their line of, this is the line of action of F1, this is the line of action of F2, and has different line of action. So they give rise to a torque, correct? So they constitute a torque. Give rise to torque. Now, if you notice, what is the definition of torque? Torque is R into perpendicular distance. So this is my origin. So it is going to rotate about this way. So it is going to rotate about this point here, exactly halfway between. That means, how much is this distance? This distance must be from here to here. This distance is A, and this distance is also A. Correct? Now what do we know? We need to find the perpendicular distance. If this is theta, this is F1, I can resolve F1 into two components. One will be this component, parallel component, and another will be the perpendicular component. Similarly, this F2, let us see. So if this is theta, means this angle is also theta. So this must be F1 cos theta, and this is the F1 sin theta. Similarly, if you see here, this would be again theta. So if this is theta, means let me extend this little bit. I'll use a separate color to do it. I'll extend it little bit. So you see, this is theta, means again this is also theta. Let me clean this one. This is also theta. And what is this one? F is equal to, F2 is equal to minus QE. Again I can divide F2 into two components. So this would be my F2 cos theta, and this will be my, which is I'm interested in, is the, I'll show you with the red color, is this one. This is F1, F2 sin theta. Now you can see F1 sin theta, F2 sin theta and F1 sin theta. They are the perpendicular forces from this, exactly similar to this situation. Right? I cannot take F1 and F2. F1 equal to QE and F2 Q, I cannot take it. I have to always take the perpendicular distance, because the perpendicular forces are responsible for the torque, not the F1 and F2 which are responsible for the torque. Okay? So what I need to do now? then torque will be as straight as that, force into perpendicular distance. So F1 and F2, so total torque would be, so net torque, tau will be now how much? Tau 1 plus tau 2. What is tau 1? Tau 1 you can see it would be F2 sin theta into A, F2 sin theta into A, plus this one would be how much? F1 sin theta into A, F1 sin theta into A. I'll go to next page. That, but what is the magnitude? But F1 magnitude is equal to F2 magnitude is equals to QE. So my tau would be, I can take sin theta common out, as you can see from here. I can take F1 and be same only. So I can take F1, F sin theta common out. I'll get here twice of A. So I get here, oh sorry, I'm forgetting the Q. Okay, I'm just talking about the Q here, not, okay, sorry. Yeah, then F sin theta. Now F is what? Q into E. So 2A sin theta. Now what is this? Q2A sin theta. What is Q2A? Q2A is the dipole moment. You see, Q2A is the dipole moment. Therefore, this must be PE sin theta. Correct? So tau would be P sin theta. So here it should be, then again P sin theta means in vector notation I can write tau would be P vector cross E vector. So tau is equal to P vector cross. Again I use the right hand rule to explain it. So if I apply the right hand rule here, you see this is the P vector, this is the E vector. So use your right hand rule. So let's say this is the P vector and this is the E vector. This is P, this is E. Use your right hand rule. That means your right hand goes in. So this is the torque. The tau will be this way. The torque will be like this. And it is, this is tau, thumb going in. That means at the center it would be a cross. It will be a cross because the thumb is going in. I am aligning my right hand with the P and then fold it towards the electric field. Then the thumb going in, that is giving me the direction of the, that is giving me the direction. So I have something like this. So this is my thumb. I am aligning my hand like this. You can see. Then I am going to fold it towards this. This thumb is going into the paper, going from P to E. So that is the direction of the torque. So tau is equals to P cross E. Now we can see some cases here also. Cases, different cases we're going to get. What cases? Let's see. It maybe happen is the first case will be that when theta is 0 degree. When theta is 0 means, what does this mean? So I am going to have the electric field like this, and this is going to be electric field. This is electric field, and the dipole makes 0 degree with the electric field. This is the dipole. I am showing you with the arrow. Dipole moment P makes 0 degree with the Earth. That means in that case tau would be equal to, this is P. So tau would be in that case equal to PE sin 0. So that means tau is 0. Torque experienced by it will be that time 0. Case 2, when it is 90 degree. So something like this. Like this is the electric field, and here is our dipole moment making perpendicular to the electric field. At that time torque will be maximum. Tau would be equal to tau max. It would be PE sin 90. PE sin 90. That gives me tau equal to tau max PE. Got it? We will see more about torque and its potential energy in upcoming topic. So this is regarding, this is how dipole. So that means in short the takeaway is that you have a dipole, you place in electric field, it is going to experience, it is going to rotate, it is going to spin, it is going to spin in the electric field, it is going to be spinning. There will be no translational motion. It is only going to spin. The dipole is going to be spinning with some frequency. It is going to be oscillating like that. It is going to be oscillating like this. It is going to be spinning like this way. Okay? And no forward motion. If it is a non-uniform electric field, it is not only going to spin, but it will also move. That is, if the uniform electric field is non-uniform. Understand? So in short, when an electric dipole is placed in uniform electric field, it will spin. Uniform electric field, the dipole will spin. Dipole will spin or oscillate. Okay?